This call is being recorded.
Good afternoon or good morning.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Thank you for calling in.
I figured it out.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I actually have your birthday, but you know what? I actually will need one moment your reference place. So if I can get perhaps let me do it like this too. So let me get your natal chart and a different chart. But if I can get your reference place where you were on 6:53 a.m. yesterday.
Oh, in Hamilton, Ontario.
Oh, okay, same place. Yeah,
Yep.
you're beautiful. Is that where you were born?
Yes.
All right, cool. So with that being said, wait a minute. That's not right. Oh, that's why that happened. Uh-huh. Okay. My apologies. If you give me one moment, I will start soon.
Okay.
I was wondering.
I don't know whose chart's up on my screen here.
Oh, my bad. Let me take that down. Boom. Mhm. I knew it. There we go. I did have that. Okay. There. I know she was here. There we go. Okay. So if we refresh this, we see that, and thank you for your patience.
Hmm.
We see that you have, wait a minute. And then, oh, okay. I got you. I got to do this real quick. One moment. I have to add you here now. Is that right? Yeah. Mm-mm-mm. Ugh. Okay. Bam. Okay. So we have Claire, got Carlita. So here is the solar return. Bam. So at Hamilton, we see that your solar return, happy belated birthday, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Mhm.
So we know that you were born uh actually with an alien construct, which is very fascinating.
What does
So
that mean?
right, I'm going to share an article referencing that. This means primarily that when you were born, you had, in your case, one moment. So there we go. You had, in your case, Uranus and the North Node in Scorpio, and you had Neptune on your rising. So
Yeah.
that gives you three different alien constructs. You have the Sun conjunct Uranus, which is a Uranian power alien, which is very powerful. And then you also have the Uranian vessel alien construct. I actually have that, but in Capricorn. That gives one the ability to read the mind of teenagers, predict election outcomes, uh, channel and coral electrical energy. The power alien can channel higher frequency beings, form higher conscious communities, heal through astrology, deprogram brainwashed individuals, and shock others into reality. And so we'll see that having this in Scorpio is such a huge deal because as a Sagittarius rising, this not only makes you a legend where you were born here in the 12th house, but it gives you a transcendent quality of spirit representing this clear cognizant wisdom. Honestly, I have chills because this is such strong psychic power and energy. You may have lived most of your life mainly misunderstood by
Absolutely.
most people. Especially with Uranus, certain people may just outright feel you're crazy because of certain things you feel and see when really it's stupid people that would think you're crazy. Um, and that's really based off of a saying that says, um, only stupid people call smart people crazy people. And seeing that you have Neptune on the rising, you can also reflect the inherent God and goddess within every individual, assist the dying and crossing over. You hold the transcendent soul wisdom of anybody. I mean, at this level, certain people may actually be freaked out by you because you can just have a small talk conversation with someone and speak. You can literally just share an anecdote that verbatim speaks to what someone was obsessing over 5 minutes ago. And now they think you're a mind reader or a witch. When realistically, you represent this pure, you represent almost the pure goddess archetype as a representative of wisdom. But in the 12th house here, oh my gosh, especially with destiny, this now makes you the captain of your destiny group and makes you aware of this very wow intensely expression. And I do see your rising is in Sagittarius, and I love how you actually have red hair here too. So this really speaks of how.
I'm sorry, you cut out there for a second.
Oh, that's no problem. So let me actually share this screen. Hopefully I get the right chart. 1, 2, 3. Nope, let me do this right one. Huh. This is the second one. Oh, there we go.
Mhm.
So this is your natal chart, but let's actually pull up your. So I'm gonna send the reference to these links when I send you this recording. But let's actually pull up your solar return chart.
I'm actually learning about this in school right now. So I'm
Oh,
excited
no
to
way.
hear what you have to say, you know?
Amazing. Yeah. I just wanted to make sure we referenced at least your natal chart just so we can get an idea perhaps of how this all plays out. Let me try one more time. Oh, yeah, yeah. Okie dokie. Let's just do it like this then. Free chart selection. Oh, yeah, yeah. Have so much tabs up. I got to choose the right one. Mm-mm. There we go. This is it. So thanks for your patience. So yeah, as you can see, this really goes and hello.
Hello.
Sweet. This really goes a long way into how you're in a position this year to come into a profound transcendence of your spirit and your character. Um, what I definitely came to respect is the nature of the solar return. and how accurate it was. I used to think it was junk astrology until I had my 2017 one in the 10th house of career, and my whole career changed that year. And I was
Mhm.
able to work full time, and I had the moon on my Virgo rising. And it wasn't until Virgo season that I not only moved to Vegas, but I changed my identity. It became Magic Mike. And it really taught me a lot of how you can time the solar return. And so we do see that this falls in the 12th house, but it's also in the same sign as the rising. So if we were to use the whole sign system, this would be a first house transit, but we will see it more as like a first house sun that falls in the 12th house, which this year is going to transform and transcend how much more divinely you see yourself, but then how you identify with this transcendence of wisdom, especially around how you release unconscious habits and behaviors that you're aware of psychologically in others, and how you come back around to express it. So the coolest thing about this is, now that we're already in Scorpio season, coming into the end of this, you're going to really step into the first chapter, and this already aligns the beginning of the solar return with the first level of you kind of coming into purifying your own personality, but really just coming into transformation relative to Jupiter and Saturn that's in Aquarius. And of course, and I'm using the equal sign system, but since everything relative to the late Scorpio rising is at the final degrees, it's going to push everything back at the end. So I'll be blending both. For example, the moon you have is in Gemini. So this is definitely going to make this year quite intimate and somewhat triggering in the way you truly deal with others and how receptive you are to the thoughts of others and the minds of others, which is also ironic, seeing that destiny is also aligned with this soul and Lilith, while Venus is with Juno of marriage and rulership. So even though it falls in the seventh house, because Gemini is your eighth house, this is going to influence rather magically how enlightened you apply this sense of truth about other people in the house of other people's resources and other people, and align that with your own sense of self, and how as this social instrument or representative of wisdom, you discern this true enlightened quality of purity. I'm going to do my best to express this though in a certain way, because this is very advanced, and in the 12th house, borrowing how you were born with the Sagittarius rising, it definitely goes a long way towards putting you in a position to very magically and very powerfully um really really uniquely tap into, once again, the hidden wisdom, because the 12th house is also the house of secrets.
Mm.
And so, giving your 12th house archetype what constitutes your entire life is, being aware of this pure element of secrets around everyone. It's almost as if you hold the secrets of just modern day, experience, where the way you're going to perceive what happens is going to be way different than anyone else who may see something on the surface. You can just claircognizantly gain wisdom without even the need for details. And I have to say this, I am very drawn to you, and I think it's really Neptune on your rising. This may be an effect you have with everybody, but it's somewhat hypnotic. It's very subtle. I can imagine that you could put anyone in trance that you meet within like seconds.
It's
And
it's it's funny you say that because it's very true, and I don't understand it,
yeah, thank you for sharing that, because
Mhm.
once again, I'm pretty sure it can color the way people interact with you. And I would assume it may have your whole life brought an obsessive energy and desire, where people may obsessively love you or
Hate me.
project or hate you,
One or
right?
the other, you know?
And you probably people probably project all sorts of uh insecurities or delusions towards you,
Mhm.
which once again is very, very wild. But I just appreciate so much once again seeing your rising as Sag and your hair is red. It's definitely not only archetypal. I've noticed that very frequently, and it confirms how authentic it you tie into that, and how fire correlates with the red. So
Mm,
that's just is just very, very mindful. It's just when people see but beneath the windows of your soul, like there's so much deep 12th house wisdom that most people may never understand because it's just such at a high transcendent level. Sometimes you may feel, I don't want to say stuck in a spiritual closet, but like more so, there's just certain things you hold within about the collective around you, especially
mhm,
that ironically now coming out of next year into 2022, we're going to see the South Node come over and unlock your first house. And it's going to do well to unlock all of the supernatural potential in your 12th to manifest in your sixth house and to manifest a grounded lifestyle mainly for other people too. It's like you're taking all the wisdom of the spirituality, which would be dope. The 12th house Scorpio could represent a hidden secret spiritual path that is very saucy, like has the sauce, very wisdom, much wisdom, corals, pure energy, is very purely supernatural. And all that wisdom is being used as a resource, perhaps to align other people's lifestyle practically to what's real, as well as realistically ground your own lifestyle very materially and put yourself in a position to realistically align with the proper values here, which we see as your actual destiny. So because your rising sign in a solar return is Scorpio, that alignment and integration of this pure spiritual life that may be hidden is going to integrate into people's relationships this year, and how you unconventionally manifest that quality coming into the end of the year. So this is where once again we're going to see you step through chapter 1 coming into the end of November or middle of November, and by the time you step into Sagittarius season, you'll be really now manifesting the vision of the solar return, the value of the quality of meaning, where enlightenment would be Gemini, but the meaning of that would be in Sagittarius, that will have you really see the nature of what you're unlocking and what you're manifesting, hence stepping into chapter 2. And I feel like once we step into there and it's in the first house region, you're really going to see uh the first house chapter of what you're stepping into, and how personally you're setting forth the solar return lesson to transcend any inhibitions, any old unconscious habits, and old personification of yourself. Once again, relative to now Jupiter and Saturn, that's in your fourth house, third house, but ruled by the fourth, that will expand this understanding of yourself and your cosmic ancestry, and how you really express more the cosmic talents and abilities of how magical you are, and how you express this sense of claircognizance through knowledge, especially during now that we see this third house portion of Aquarius being activated. Of course, now, interestingly enough, because this rules the fourth, we may see closer to February, not only you move, but the Jupiter is going to go into your fourth house coming into next year, which will facilitate a move. So my question for you is, have you moved, or are you planning to move
uh,
soon?
I don't plan on moving, but I am open to the idea of actually making such a move to move across the country, but I don't like, I've been contemplating that for a couple of years now, and I could retire at this point if I sold my house here and I went and moved somewhere else in the country, and I just wanted to give my children a better, start somewhere else in the country, but I don't know if that's going to actually be something that happens.
Okay, I see.
Because
Um,
right now I'm taking astrology. I'm learning, right? I'm a newbie. You're brilliant, by the way. I admire
thank
your
you.
work. I really do.
That's
And so this is something that I'm trying to manifest for my own life moving forward. And I've been at my job for 30 years, and I've been laid off due to COVID because I refused to wear the mask.
oh, nice. Okay.
So I've been off for a year now, but I've still managed to stay afloat. My house is paid for.
Mhm.
Um, and I'd like to sell here, move somewhere else so I could semi-retire and pursue this love of mine. But I don't know if I'm just afraid to do it, to be quite honest with you. Because it's like once you do it, there's no turning
There's
back,
no
right?
turning back, right?
Mhm.
And thankfully from experience, like everyone who I ever do charts with, once Jupiter goes through their fourth, they move or they renovate their inner home or like expand it. So thankfully, we are not going to see Jupiter go through your fourth house until like the middle of next year. And so you won't start to be clear on this until for sure March. And by then, you'll be so much more comfortable about how to go about this. Even though this fourth house transit is fully pushing you out of your comfort zone, it's
Mhm.
definitely going to open up more possibility and options by that point too. So that
Awesome.
you right, so that by April you can already start to take action towards that. So there is more than enough time to prepare this. But because the fourth house for you is Aquarius, you'll perhaps start to come into the idea and inspiration coming into February about maybe uh possibilities and options that open up, maybe certain opportunities that weren't available now that will be available then. So once again, it's very interesting because the ruler of this chart as a Scorpio rising is on the third house cusp in Capricorn. And so a major element of this year will be the transformation of your attitude and your skills and how you transform your abilities, especially at this incredible level of Capricorn. And we know that as a Sag rising, this is your second house. It's the superpowers you manifest relative to the self-esteem and confidence. And so you'll be changing your attitude around your self-esteem, especially regarding this. And this is where, coming out of the final eclipse in Sagittarius season, it's going to wrap up this lesson that has taken your relationships with others and put it in a position. Oh, you know what, that makes a lot of sense too, because my sun is 20 degrees right on your DC. So I am instrument of your seventh house, which will probably go a long way towards maybe how much more receptive you may be to my messages, or how you may see synchronicities or whatnot. But it's interesting because that eclipse transit took the resources of you and used it to truth blast people. It's like you're taking the meaning of your own self and you're aligning other people to the truth of your partnerships. And it's now taking this change of mind around how you communicate to other people, and it's going to get ready to align and ground into the sixth house, which is even cooler because you have your Jupiter 29 degrees Taurus, which is amazing. As soon as the North Node now goes into Taurus, boom, you're instantly going to tap into that. And the moon will be close enough, 21 degrees, that you'll be feeling your soul unlock to facilitate this. So Jupiter 29 degrees Taurus, I think even represents your home. It's just this mastery of manifesting this groundedness in routine and lifestyle, but also value of money. And so the North Node that's going to unlock this, I think, is going to put you in a very lucrative position to step into a lot of abundance and luck. It to me is kind of like a very auspicious transit. Maybe to push your luck. I mean, I'm not really a fan of like playing the lottery, but this might be, maybe an opportune time to do anything like that, or to, without you having to do anything, come into something that will be as lucky as winning that. So this is amazing because the North Node is 1 degree. We're in the event space, and this can happen any period now. And so relative to that, this Sagittarius season is going to, with Juno, manifest this sense of commitment into already putting you in a position to manifest the vision towards what's going to come into more money, but also how you are manifesting this ascendant sense of your self-esteem. Everything that coming into Capricorn season, you'll primarily be in a position to now sort through your attitude as you manifest natally your self-esteem. And this is where you'll really, coming into the Venus retrograde of Capricorn season, be resorting and resituating how you organize the expression of any newly developed beliefs or attitudes or skill sets that relative to the Scorpio season extend forth very incredibly, and will also really challenge how incredibly you connect and communicate with other people, especially because you have Mars 25 degrees and Mercury 13 degrees. So this is going to take this year and have you connect very unconventionally with how you socialize and communicate, especially when taking certain hidden beliefs around your connections with people and how they clash with the extreme attitude that you have with what everything that's going on in the world, and how this attitude will clash with maybe others who feel different and maybe don't see what you see or understand what you understand. And so Capricorn season will bring that square to Libra and Aries very powerfully. And this is actually going to be a very incredible moment of breakthrough where the way you express these ideas will transform relative to the context of where everyone's head is at. But just look forward to outside influences with the square challenging how you form your attitude and how you'll come into greater victory standing up for this, and maybe even transforming the way other people think about what's happening in the world. Because that Capricorn energy, power and season is going to be one of the most dynamic, where Jupiter is going to enter Pisces, and you'll already now begin to step into this fourth, fifth house chapter that will, relative to the solar return, open up so much creativity and a more divine understanding of how you feel, where your family is at, and where they're going into in your own inner world, and how you tap into this inner sense of yourself. That now is going to lead into Aquarius season, and the conjunction with Jupiter and Saturn here will realistically, with Saturn here, really anchor more of the karmic lessons to understand not only the anchoring you have, but opening up real estate, mainly coming into work from home opportunities, or just being able to live autonomously and independently. Saturn will kind of build that foundation, especially relative to everything happening this year, which is in your third house, setting your attitude about the rest of the year, relative to Jupiter and Pisces, that will begin this cycle coming into Pisces season of opening up potential to move. By Virgo season, that will be complete, where you may have already facilitated this, or at least the idea to prepare and plan, but also expand your inner world, really help you understand more where you come from in a divine sense, inheriting divine ancestry. But now, because this is the solar return fifth house, really starting the cycle relative to the year to now unlocking perhaps your own creative abilities. Fifth house could apply to homeschooling or undergraduate education or children or your own inner child as well. So this will really revisit a lot of how you innovate that and step so much more into what you love to do and your passions. So that's going to really revive that this year. So that coming into Aries season as a Scorpio rising, you'll be very powerfully integrating this unique sense of yourself relatively into your lifestyle, and how powerfully as well you're also able to, in a nutshell, align this level of your lifestyle and behavior relative to what the solar return is transforming into your identity. By Aries season, you're now setting the individual actions to form the lifestyle of this more transcendent sense of yourself. It's almost as if this year too, you'll be unlocking a lot of the hidden secrets of your talents and now identifying with it for you to express so much more. And so Taurus season will complete this by bringing this sense of yourself that Scorpio season will start chapter 1 of this year. And by chapter 7 of the solar return, you're manifesting that persona to other people. You're manifesting that quality in your relationships with other people. The North Node is more in your seventh house, and it will be manifesting the value of this quality with other people. And then the vision you manifested Sagittarius season will transform with truth Gemini season in your dealings with others. And because you have the moon here, this is going to really segue into how enlightened and true you are receptive to the true nature of other people's characters. The Gemini moon will definitely make this year a lot more chatty or a lot more communicative. You may be writing a lot more. You're definitely going to be receptive a lot to the truth of your dealings with other people and who you can trust and what kind of boundaries to be drawn. So the value you manifest in Sagittarius season will be what you give to others truthfully and how you communicate this meaning you see and changing minds around you. And then the attitude you develop Capricorn season will ascend into how you feel in Cancer and how you now show how you feel about your beliefs and synthesize the Aries lifestyle you set in place and are able to integrate into your life path. And in Cancer, really ascend the higher meaning of what the Pluto oppositions, everything you set in place to deal with this initial challenge of expressing your attitude. That by Cancer season is now a belief you can show people and overcome any inhibitions or disbelief. And that's what's going to conclude the solar return in Leo season by now bringing into success what you planned with the foundation in Aquarius as we wrap everything up coming into Virgo and Libra season, bringing out this social persona of how you bring out this transformation of character and manifest realistically the goodies of Jupiter and Pisces. So this is definitely going to be a very magical year. I think as soon as Jupiter goes into Pisces December, this will also expand what's possible for you to achieve. But did you have any questions at all so far?
Um, no, not really. I was concerned that there was gonna be a change in financial, because the my sun and the South Node were so, like, they're in an exact conjunction there, right? So I was concerned
Yeah.
that my finances were gonna change. Again, this is, another reason why I I paid for a reading with you was because I was just trying to understand, you know?
Yeah.
So you seem to think that, there is gonna be a change in my financial, life.
I would say natally for sure, because the Venus retrograde in your second house is going to completely change how you allocate your funds you already have. And I think deepen the ability for you to manifest more money. But
Yes.
it's going to kind of resituate how you conduct your finances. So perhaps you can earn more while doing less. I think it's going to be very powerful for you. And in your solar return, that's your third house. So it's going to change your whole attitude around your finances and how much more confident you are with it and what
Yeah, I
you can.
already see that kind of, taking place, to be honest with you, yeah, which is great. Yeah, awesome.
Beautiful. I hate to cut this call short, but I will send you the recording to this reading.
Awesome, I appreciate that. Thank you so much for your time.
No problem. And it was really awesome holding space with you. And I hope to keep in touch and you stay blessed as always.
Yeah, you too, honey. Take care.